A cabinet official lurking inside an FBI evidence truck? Senator Jon Ossoff says this isn't just bizarre, it's dangerous, and he's demanding answers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and General, thank you for your career of service to the United States, and congratulations on your nomination to this important post. Before I engage with you, I just want to note for the committee that my constituents in Georgia, and I think much of the American public, are quite reasonably alarmed and asking questions after the Director of National Intelligence was spotted bizarrely and personally lurking in an FBI evidence truck in Fulton County, Georgia, yesterday. So I encourage all of us on a bipartisan basis to pursue the facts as swiftly as possible to understand whether the Office of the Director of National Intelligence is straying far outside of its lane. Related. I regret to share my observation that the President at this point is clearly using federal law enforcement in order to pursue personal vendettas. That has nothing to do with you and your career to date, nor is it something for which I hold you accountable or would expect you to explain. But it is a well-known fact, and it quite reasonably, given the immense surveillance capabilities of the National Security Agency, raises the concern that there might be some abuse of the NSA's authorities. And so my question for you is that if there is some alteration or withdrawal of current prohibitions, administrative prohibitions, on surveillance targeting Americans, for example, in Executive Order 1233, PPD 28, USSID 18, or otherwise, will you promptly inform this committee with our oversight responsibilities of such a change?
Senator, I will pledge, if confirmed, to ensure that the NSA executes its mission within the authorities and all applicable laws, and that I will execute the duties of this position that enables this committee to exercise its oversight responsibilities.
General, I appreciate the answer, and I want you to think a little bit more deeply about the question and consult with your team and follow up with more precision for the record, because the challenge I'm identifying is that you may be asked to do things that are manifestly unethical and improper, but following some alteration of present administrative policy may indeed be lawful. And this committee needs to know if such administrative policies, which currently protect American civil liberties but are not in statute, are changed. And my view would be that under existing law, anyone in the seat that you hope to hold would have a statutory obligation to inform this committee of any such change. So I hope to get some more detail beyond boilerplate on that for the record. You will also be taking this post, General, if confirmed. So can I get a commitment that you will respond with a more fulsome answer for the record, please, General?
Senator, I look forward to looking into that topic and responding to you.
Thank you. If confirmed, you'll take this post after a series of events that suggest a crisis for information security and operational security practices in the federal government. You had the Secretary of Defense inadvertently text strike details to a national political reporter, including time over target for U.S. air crews before those U.S. air crews had launched into hostile enemy airspace. Multiple major news outlets were reportedly aware of the imminent raid targeting Maduro in Venezuela before the raid was executed. This week, here's a headline from Politico: Trump's acting cyber chief uploaded sensitive files into a public version of ChatGPT. NSA has a crucial role supporting information security, cryptographic integrity, and best practices across the federal government. How will you, in your role, constructively address these many failures and the broader problem of information security failures in the federal government?
Senator, I recognize the critical role that NSA plays in this space, and certainly, if confirmed, I pledge to ensure that it continues to execute its mission to its fullest.
Thank you, General.
What Senator Jon Ossoff did here was not political theater. It was a warning. Ossoff opened by voicing what millions of Americans immediately felt when news broke that the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, was personally present inside an FBI evidence truck during a raid in Fulton County, Georgia. That image alone raises profound questions. The DNI is not a field investigator. The DNI does not conduct raids. The DNI is supposed to oversee intelligence coordination, not physically embed themselves in domestic law enforcement operations. Ossoff didn't jump to conclusions. He didn't accuse. What he did instead was something far more important. He put the issue on the record and demanded oversight before normalization sets in. He made clear that the concern isn't partisan. It's structural. When the president repeatedly signals that federal law enforcement should be used to pursue personal vendettas, every unusual action by senior intelligence officials must be scrutinized, especially when those officials oversee agencies with vast surveillance capabilities. That's where Ossoff's questioning became especially serious. He pointed directly to administrative safeguards, executive orders and internal directives that protect Americans from improper surveillance. These protections are not all written into statute. They can be altered quietly, without public debate, and without Congress knowing unless someone speaks up. Ossoff's question cut to the core. If those protections are changed, even lawfully on paper, will Congress be told? This is not hypothetical. History shows that abuses of surveillance power often begin with subtle policy shifts, not dramatic announcements. That's why oversight committees exist, to ensure civil liberties aren't eroded in silence. Ossoff pressed again because the first answer he received was boilerplate. He made it clear that lawful does not mean ethical, and that intelligence officials can be placed in positions where following altered policy still results in grave harm to democratic norms. His insistence on a detailed follow-up, for the record, was deliberate. It creates accountability that cannot be brushed aside later. He then broadened the concern to something even more alarming, a pattern of catastrophic information security failures across this administration. Sensitive strike details texted to journalists, raid plans leaked. Democrats are not opposing law enforcement. They are defending the rule of law. They are not attacking intelligence agencies. They are protecting them from political misuse and institutional decay. Ossoff's questions reflect a basic democratic principle. No official is above oversight, and no agency operates without accountability.